We're back with Jim Carrey. Here's the thing about Zamuda.
Who doesn't want to do jokes?
Jim, we're not doing jokes.
Oh, good.
This is what I love Zamuda. Because I like how he continues.
Why don't you tantric sex him? Why don't you make it last all day long?
We had someone at Saturday Night Live that was into tantric sex and also into
Sting.
I didn't say his name.
I guessed it. I guessed it. I got a lightning round.
So this unnamed person, Saturday Night Live.
It's so, you know, I'm sorry. Some of these things don't translate when I do them physically, but in my mind, they're fucking incredible. Like, I just fucking shoot off like a fucking rocket-fucking-powered seat that just flies into the audience and shit.
No.
If I could do what's inside here, you guys would all be fucking running to the car.
That's funny you say that because you more than anyone do. What you're saying. If I do something, I think I'm making these faces, and then I look at it that night, I made no face at all. It was all inside me. In my mind, I had a face. I was sad. Sometimes I've been sad.
You might have had a stroke at some point.
Well,
you might have had a stroke at some point. Sometimes they're subtle. They're subtle. The first thing that goes is facial expressions. And you end up like this the whole time.
But I will say this. I don't know if you've seen Kirk Douglas lately, but it hasn't hurt his comic timing.
That is fucking amazing. I like the look, whatever it is.
You could probably do him.
Kirk Douglas? That was great. See, now we're doing essences. We're doing essences. Exactly. Well, and you do Kirk Douglas, and we'll do a scene together of essences of Kirk Douglas and Burt Lancaster.
Okay.
Go.
It's
a war movie. We're in the bunker, and you be Kirk Douglas.
And are you my commanding officer?
Yeah, that's right.
Or are you just a grunt? He looks like you're a grunt.
No,
Listen, grunt.
No, you don't do the voice. Just do the essence.
Oh, just like the grunt.
Oh, I see.
Okay. I guess we didn't need the whole part about the war movie. It really didn't matter.
He gave himself the great one. Do you forget how to do impressions? You remember the Bruce Dern immediately.
I love doing impressions, and I love getting a dog cookie afterwards.
I know.
Did you ever do James Mason?
I love getting a belly rub.
There are some guys, though.
I love people to go, "You're a clever dog."
There are some guys.
Do tricks that we enjoy.
But Steve Martin plays the manager. There are guys who are incredibly. You do art. There's guys. There are impressionists that were very funny. There was Frank Gorshin, very, very funny guy. Peter Sellers.
Peter Sellers. He wasn't an impressionist, though. He was a character.
Yeah.
Hilarious characters.
I bet he was an impressionist.
I did Clouseau my whole life growing up.
Here's something I heard that's interesting. That in the movie Being There, he was doing an impression the entire time of the comedian Stan Laurel.
Yes. Yeah, he was.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. I hope it was as interesting for you as it was for us.
What do you think of? I don't think you've ever done this.
I love the outtakes of that movie where he's cracking up about Raoul and stuff like that. It's so fun.
What do you think of guys that remake movies that are near perfect to begin with? Or just the idea of
kick
doing
them in
that.
the fucking face.
Yeah.
I mean, let's say a guy
I don't want
to
to
make any bones about it.
Let's say a guy comes up to you.
Guys make movies that are good over again.
But
they should be fucking shot in the fucking face.
But the best movie, like let's say a guy comes up to you, says, "We want to do Sergeant Bilko with you instead of Phil Silvers." Would you
For
say
a third time they're going to redo Sergeant Bilko?
I would reach into my pants, grab a handful of my own shit, and wipe it right in their face.
That's the obvious answer, but so you have no opinion on that. Don't do that.
How do you know there's going to be shit there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh. There's always shit there.
Oh, Jim, I've been trying to. He's been asking every guest this, and I try to.
What?
I tell him stop. He has this question. He always asks people, "Where do you get your ideas?"
Shit.
He goes, "Where do you get your ideas?"
People prepare.
And I say, I hate when you ask a comic, where he gets his ideas. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to me. I don't like to hear that question.
There's no me.
So
I've been telling you this whole time.
I know.
There are
So
ideas that happen. Things happen.
happen.
I have nothing to do with it.
Exactly.
You have nothing to do with it.
So do you have any other question?
There's no Norm Macdonald.
Do you have any other question after hearing that?
Norm Macdonald is a name.
Yes.
He has a religion. He has a nationality. He has a hockey team that he loves.
And that's exactly what I want to know.
These are the fucking abstract fucking building blocks that he cobbles together into some sort of pseudo fucking personality. That can be identified by the police. Jesus.
So what's the question?
Why do you think?
There's no him.
Why do you think Canadians are so funny?
There are no Canadians. There is only a zone that is colder than here.
Yeah, that's very true.
Someone threw a line around it.
That's very true. I don't see you as a fan of nationalism.
No, I'm not a nationalistic person because I'm not a fucking person.
Right.
But there is a relative...
Not even a person.
No. There is a relative, manifestation, obviously, happening that we're all... It's pretty fucking convincing at times.
Yeah.
So when I cross the border, I have some papers. There are papers with me.
Of course.
Yeah. But
You're not
I'm not gonna suddenly go across the border in Canada and go, whoa, fuck, was that a pain in the ass? Come on, guys, I love you.
Because he was excited for a minute. He's like, where do you get these papers? He still thinks you're talking about vanishing.
Yeah.
He's not talking about vanishing physically.
I don't follow.
Vanishing.
Jesus.
But wait,
Christ.
no, didn't Steve do something happen there?
Who?
Steve
Odenkirk?
Steve Odenkirk did what?
Or not Steve. Who directed?
Steve Odenkirk wrote his movie.
Yeah, right. Didn't he? He gave
Steve
away all his
wrote
earthly
lots of
possessions and.
No, that was Tom Shady.
Shady.
Oh, that's.
He didn't give away all his earthly possessions.
okay.
He gave away a lot
Everything
of
but
stuff.
$4
But is
billion.
that similar to what you're talking about? Did he?
No, I have tons of shit. There's tons of stuff with Jim Carrey's name on it, and there's money in the bank, and there's lots of good stuff.
But did
that
he
you need in
disappear?
this relative manifestation, but I have nothing to do with it.
What do you think of this, Jim?
No, I won't. I won't think.
Richard Pryor was how many years ago? 50, right?
Died when?
Richard Pryor was at his peak, maybe 50 years ago or something. Andy Kaufman died before I even was in comedy. Isn't it odd that the greatest comedian and the greatest, whatever you would call that, meta-comedian or
Performance artist, comedian,
lived so long ago, and nobody's even come close to them. In most art, this is not true.
But you know what's amazing is that none of it matters. That ultimately, no matter what happens, no matter if another great comedian never comes along, it's not going to fucking matter at all from 500 feet up.
From 500 feet up?
Yeah, from up there, it's like, whatever.
But what will matter?
Did you ever watch nothing? We don't matter at all. This is just a trip we're on, and it's fun, and it's going to.
But how can you answer any of these questions that are on the blue cards, given that?
No, you can in a relative sense, but
That's how I'm asking. In a relative sense,
there's no meaning.
Even though there's no meaning to it, it's a fact.
Yeah.
And why do you think that in the 50 years that Pryor has not been eclipsed?
Because there hasn't been a comedian that grew up in a brothel and was forced to suck somebody's dick.
That's
and
true.
Was beaten and was, tortured. And, we all come from comics come from a certain level of torture or abandonment or whatever. You probably have a sick mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can pretty much do that test with every comedian that ever lived has a sick mom.
I don't think she's sick. The doctor said she's more.
The
doctor said she's more. I'm not a doctor. I said, how's she doing?
No, but I mean, was she mentally ill? Is your mother?
I don't think so. My doctor said she is more virus than host at this point. But I don't know this gobbledygook, but
you're the virus.
Yeah,
You're
it's
the virus.
virus.
She's the host.
You ever worry about maybe it's just...
Oh, no, you're the host now.
Yeah. You ever, when you say...
And most comics come from a needful parent or something like that. Like I wanted to make my mother
Canadians,
happy.
the great Canadians, they're great
You're not even
human
listening to me,
beings.
are you?
The people that live in the universe.
Yeah.
Were you a fan of Leonard Cohen?
I am such a sick Leonard Cohen fan.
You met
like
Leonard
literally 2 days ago, I'm painting with Leonard Cohen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
A painting of Leonard Cohen?
No. Painting with that music. I love that music so much.
Subscribe to Nom Burger King.